we try to think a little bit about what we're talking about. So, what you got?
Ongoing issues.
All right, we talked about that, and that one of those for us would be arguing or conflict. I don't even think it's bad though, and you said that as well. But I think that it's good for us because we're really trying to understand each other.
For us, I feel like how this topic came about. One ongoing issue that we have is ongoing. It's one specific issue. And I feel like we have gotten better, and we used to argue about it, but when we recently this issue came up, we were able to argue, but we talked. I
wouldn't call it an argument. And I'm gonna say the reason we didn't argue, it was a talk.
Okay.
Because in an argument, you're debating. You're trying to see who's right and who's wrong.
Okay. I can agree with that. You're right. We didn't have any tension between us. Backs wasn't turned. I wasn't looking out the window, even though we was in the room. But
I had to look out the window.
We was able to discuss the issue.
Yeah.
And I think that is a good thing. That is growth.
And something was uncovered because you didn't see that at first.
What?
You didn't see that we were talking about it. You was like, it's just the same old thing. I said, it's not the same old thing.
Yeah, I did say that. It wasn't the same old thing because you're right. We was sitting up here talking like we talking now.
Mm-hmm. So I said, and that's important to notice. Even though you're going through the same thing, and this is what I tell you all the time. It don't matter how many times we go through it, as long as you continue to go through it. Mm-hmm. Because, yeah, we arguing about the same old thing. It's the same old problem. That's fine. That's cool. Mm-hmm. That's good, actually, for me. The way I think that is good because, yeah, we're going through the same thing over and over again, but I'm still bringing the problem to your forefront. Mm-hmm. You're still bringing the problem to my forefront.
Okay, and we're not taking it outside.
We're not taking it out to anywhere.
Okay.
We're dealing with it within ourselves.
I got another aha.
Aha.
Another aha. Okay.
Why you got an aha?
Because we're not taking it outside, and that can be devastating to a relationship. You take those issues outside. You know, what I mean by you go talk to somebody else about your issues of the opposite sex, or you just go deal with the issue doing other things, not even talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
You're acting upon, say if it's sex, you instead of you talking to your spouse about it, you go out and you do it with somebody else.
Right. So
that's the problem.
Yeah, that is the problem.
But I'm still, and another thing, I'm not cutting off. I'm not keeping it to myself. Mm-hmm. Because that's the worst place for you to have a problem at is in your own mind. Mm-hmm. So when I said that we continually talk about the situation, it's good because we're still discussing it. Yes, it's a problem. I'm letting you know, look, I don't like A, B, or C, and it's still affecting me in this way. So let's talk about it again. Mm-hmm. So that was one thing that we learned, and I don't think that you understood that when I said we're talking about it.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I got it eventually.
And then something else that I said too, because I was like, and now that we have hindsight, we could look back and say, we could say these things, and we've already said it. But I said, we're not arguing. I said, nobody's keeping score. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm not pointing the finger at you. I said, do you feel like I'm attacking you? Mm-hmm. Your reply was no.
Right.
So that's another thing. I wasn't attacking you.
So, yeah, I guess you're right. It really wasn't an argument. It wasn't an argument. It was a discussion.
Now, I do know that arguments may arise. And, and I just realized we talk about arguing a lot. But it was a while back on the episode. I can't remember which one. But we talked about healthy arguments. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I feel like people don't know how to argue. And I think that arguing is a major thing that kind of breaks relationships. So, yeah, we talk about it a lot because it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd rather talk about it a lot and give some positive insight on a negative situation. That is so weird. But
why is that weird?
I guess, I don't know.
Just the way it sounds?
The way it sounds.
Positive insight
on a negative situation. I mean, because it's an oxymoron.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think you need to argue, but you have to know how.
Mm-hmm.
You have to not let it break you too. Because somebody have an argument and the next minute they filing for divorce. What y'all was arguing about? Oh, he ain't take out the trash. Really? That's where we going? That's what we doing? That's why we breaking up? Okay. So yeah, it's like it be the silliest thing. So
like to us it could be silly. So, you know, you gotta be we don't have to be PC, but I think you got to be cautious to what you call silly for somebody else.
Yeah, you're right.
Because like we was talking about, like I was thinking like, why do we argue? It goes all the way back to how we were raised as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if you grow up and you see arguing, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. But I had this conversation with someone at work and I was like, and I brought up the conversation. I was like, we argue in front of our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And this person said, no, I seen it all. But what they saw was abusive relationship.
Yeah, that ain't arguing. That's fighting.
Yeah. So, but their parents still together. But this person was like, I seen it all from arguing to physical. And that's a whole different subject.
Yeah.
That's a whole different story. I feel like I ain't no beta. I've been waiting to say that.
Amazing.
Amazing. But I feel like as soon as you see that there is a problem, you should be able to approach that person and say, this is how I feel. Mm-hmm. And if that person be like, oh, here we go again, then they forget that love is patient. Love is kind. Do I need you to turn with me? Do I need you to turn? Love is long suffering. Like we say we love people, but because we're offended, automatically we want to say something to shun them of their feelings. Mm-hmm. And like for me, I actually care about your feelings. I like you. Mm-hmm. Like you're not
Thanks,
just
honey. I like you too.
You're not just my wife. I actually like you as a person.
Yeah. With that being said, I think we're just trying to give information on how to argue, how to get through arguments, how to have healthy arguments. Mm-hmm. Basically, this is our testimony. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we just want to give good information for people because everyone, I mean, it's a lot of people before us, after us, right, that's going to be in relationships, mm-hmm, and they just need to know the good, bad, and the ugly. And this is the ugly, but we're trying to make it all pretty for you. But this is the ugly. Well,
let me ask you this. Is there a time you just wake up and you don't like looking at me? Tell the truth.
Not like, looking at you.
It's like, you just,
No, but you
not like I'm ugly, but like you just don't want to deal with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I told y'all in one episode I be having the monikers. This is one of them days. Yeah, you be getting on my nerves.
Now that's something that we haven't approached. I really discussed fully.
I guess that's something that we can talk about now. Mm-hmm. Let's open the floor to that.
Yeah, that's something that we haven't discussed because there are days, even though I like you, mm-hmm, even though I love you, it's just days.
It's some days I don't like you, but I love you. But it's days that I just don't like you.
And I wonder what that is and how do we deal with it? And like, how do we deal with that?
I don't know. It just goes away from me. Mm-hmm. I honestly don't know. I'll be thinking like, he ain't fixed this yet, or he ain't do this yet, or here he go again with this garbage can. He ain't put no bag in here. See, listen, I'ma just not like him. I ain't gonna divorce him. But
and then to make matters worse, I'm gonna talk junk.
Yeah, so and then that makes it even more. And then here I go talking junk too. So I'm like, oh, he get on my nerves.
Wow. Okay, so I think it's important to let people know that those days are going to happen.
Yeah.
If you've been with a person long enough,
yeah, you gonna have them days.
those days are going to come, and you like, well, hey, look, I just need a minute.
Yeah.